Right.
Good evening. Welcome to the Bedminster Township Committee. This is our regular scheduled May 5 meeting. Recognizing we have a full attendance by the Bedminster Township Committee. Ms. Ray, may we please have the Open Public Meetings Act statement?
Yes, Mayor. Adequate notice of this meeting of the Township Committee was sent to the Courier News Somerville, Burnsville News Whippany, and to all subscribers and posted at the Township Municipal Building on January 7th, 2025.
Great. Thank you. Please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Get the chair just right, and it's still not right, but it's close enough. This is the time of the meeting that we open up the dais, the microphone, the Zoom session for public comment. Any member of the public wishing to make a comment, now is your opportunity to do so. Once again, reminder, you can make a comment, you can ask a question. You are not guaranteed of a dialogue. Sean Blinn. When you come up, please state your name and your street, please.
Hi, Sean Blinn, Encampment Drive. Thank you, Mayor Jacobs and members of the Township Committee. I'm just here on behalf of the Friends of the Jacobs Vanderveer House. We did just note that we are on the agenda for an executive session later tonight. So we are, obviously interested in what's going to happen. Obviously, there's not going to be a dialogue here, but we're just here to show our support for the museum. And thank you for considering extending our lease. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you,
And
Sean.
members of the committee.
Mr. Roden. We haven't seen you in a while.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Well, that's the last time I saw you was at the reorg party. Okay, yeah, Michael Roden, Spencer Lane, Pluckerman, New Jersey. You know, where the major part of the hills is built, Pluckerman. I'm here on behalf of the dog park. We're really in sad shape right now. The four trees that were planted, one is really thriving, two are struggling, one, is going to be okay. The areas around the trees, the snow fences breaking up, it's deteriorating, the weeds inside there, are just getting about 2 feet high. There's holes all around the park. Last time I brought that up, the only thing that, showed up in the minutes was the fact that filling the holes, which I stated, was recommendation, was not in the ordinance. Still, there's no real material there to fill a hole in with. I personally scrape up loose gravel and put it in the hole. The hardscape, there's no hardscape, zero. You got people that are struggling to walk. You got people, not necessarily with a wheelchair yet at this point, but you got people struggling to walk. They come in through the gate. There's a low area there. You come across there. The ground is packed hard from the grit that was put down. The grit's been washed thoroughly. All the material from the grit has soaked into the ground. It's almost like a hard clay surface there now. But there's no hardscape. When you look at a park, a good, well-done park, there's a hardscape in there because just grass is going to get abused constantly. So you need a mixture of that. We have none of this. Gate maintenance is, shoddy. The snot from the dogs rubbing up against it and all that, it just builds up. I look at it, I say, should I go out and buy a steamer and come there do it? No, I'll probably get in trouble trying to do something like that. The grass, horrible. We got weeds all over. We got dandelions. I know you're not really going to want to go in there and spray anything because then you got to close it for 3-4 days to let this stuff go into the ground. The grit is unsightly. It's uneven. There's no clean lines to it. The park is a mess. It really is. The mud area, it's growing. Soon, at least before when the mud area was very slippery, they put the grit down, worked out fine. But it's growing and it gets a lot of use. There's no plan apparently to do anything with the park. You know, there's no, last year I suggested, asked, you know, can you snow fence off an area and do a reseed in a short section of it? No, can't do anything with the park supposedly. We're waiting on burnt mills. I don't know. I mean, I talked to Neil and, you know, it's all out to the architect or the designer or what, like stuff like that, you know, nothing solid, just a little this, a little that, you know, maybe a shade area, you know, and the picture I look at for that park is like, you're going to make a gangway between two parks and make people walk down there to get to the entrance. Have you ever been at a park when the dogs show up and there's dogs barking on the inside of the park, dogs barking out on the outside of the park? It's not fun. Not fun at all. Anyway, I only bring this up because like a year and a half ago, Mr. Mayor, you followed me out of a land board meeting and told me that Pet Fresh was going to do something for the park. Nothing's happened. And, you know, I think the park, I mean, you know, you want to see pictures of nice parks, you know, Colonial Park, very nice. Basking Ridge Park, very nice. Nice green grass. Nice green grass. Now, this is more like our park, Thompson Park in Monroe. But when you look at it, the grass looks well maintained. You got lots of spots from dogs wearing it out, running it down. And I'm just asking this committee, you know, what is your intention with the park? Are you actually going to do anything with it? Is there a real proposal from PetSmart to do anything, or is that just, you know, handshaking? Anyway, those are my comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Roden. Any further questions, comments? If you are participating by Zoom, your opportunity to make a comment, take your cursor, scroll down to the bottom, click on reactions, click on raise hand. Wait 1 second, Robin.
I'm not seeing any raised hands, Mayor.
Okay. And Mayor, once again, we're going to need name and street.
Cheryl Roden, Spencer Lane, Bedminster, New Jersey. I am here tonight on behalf of the Stone Edge Homeowners Association because we received the direct payment agreement for signature. And quite frankly, I was running for committee when the Kelly bill was first passed in the legislature. I was sitting on this committee when we signed the first direct payment agreement with the neighborhoods. And I will say this, we didn't know what we didn't know, okay? Now we are here 30 some odd years later, and in my opinion, this agreement is unfair. It is not advantageous to any of the neighborhoods, those who have signed, those who haven't. There are three main reasons for that. Number one, last time I looked, the calendar said it was 2025. We are getting a 2023 rate. Guess what? Those rates are not the same. In addition to that, there are 9 separate charges, 9 different things that we get charged for on our JCP&L bills. I assume the committee the town gets charged those same 9 line items on the roads that have been dedicated in the hills. Yet, we are only getting reimbursement for 1 line. The difference between those 2 numbers is almost 10 cents a kilowatt hour. That is really not fair. Then, lastly, you're asking us to sign a 10-year agreement. There is no escalation clause. When JCP&L changes these rates, we get nothing. And guaranteed, those rates are not going down, right? We all know that. I mean, Committeeman Hickey has been very active with JCP&L on behalf of the Hills to try and fix this infrastructure. So we know the rates aren't going down. Why is there no, let's say, 1 day every year that the rate is reset, whatever it is? That is our ask of this committee for this agreement.
Okay, thank you,
Thank
Mayor Roden. Still no one?
No.
Okay. So we're going to move on. As with respect to the Kelly bill agreements, your best bet is going back to Robin or have your condo attorney reach out to Attorney Bellardo. So this is not necessarily the venue for negotiations, but your comment is received. And for those who work on the drafting, I think they've heard. And I don't know if we have an update on how many associations have signed.
We have 11, so.
11 signed, okay, all right. Moving on, we have 4 sets of meeting minutes to approve. The April 7th Township Committee meeting, the April 7th Executive Session meeting, the April 21st Township Committee meeting, the April 21st Executive Session meeting. Any comments or questions regarding those meeting minutes that have not otherwise been provided to Ms. Wright? Seeing none, take a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
First time in a while that there are no permits and raffles.
Easy.
So we're going to go to monthly report discussion by subcommittee chair. We will start with Committeewoman Fernandez.
All right, Mayor. Ready. I thought we would have permits and raffles. Okay, I just had a quick reminder, that registration for non-Bedminster residents began on Thursday, May 5th, for Camp Bedminster. And a lot of the afternoon camps are already filling up or are already filled up. So I just wanted to remind, people of the registration is now open for non-Bedminster residents. It opened for Bedminster residents on April 1st. And the Bryce Rosen Memorial 5K will be held Saturday, June 28th at River Road Park. So that's just another reminder. I haven't had a rec meeting since our last meeting. So those are my only 2 updates.
Okay, thank you. Committeewoman Mareski.
I don't really have anything. I have an environmental commission meeting on Wednesday. I'll report back after that. And we will be going through the Jacobus Vanderveer information in exec. So I'll wait till then.
Okay. Committeeman Hickey.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, all. I have no updates because none of my subcommittees have met as of yet, but I'll have more next time.
Committeeman Stevenson.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. Just real quick on DPW, our guys are out there continuing to work on the ball fields, and fixing and regrading our dirt roads, and of course, coming out of the winter season, fixing our potholes. If anybody's aware of potholes, please let us know so we can get out there and fill those. Jason, thank you for getting your crew out to Autumn Ridge to get to the residents' concerns. Very top-notch job and very timely. Thank you. And then just some various other work around the shop. We're just working on vehicles up to them, and just more to say.
Okay,
As we go.
all right.
Oh, did you want to share anything about the blowout of the line, or because it doesn't involve us? No, big deal. No problem.
Yesterday.
But everybody's water's good. All right, that's it.
Okay, thank you. So just real quick, there's been no land use board meetings since our last one. There will be a meeting coming up later on where we will be discussing eventually the housing element fair share plan to address the affordable housing obligation for Bedminster 2025 for the 4th round. We had an ag advisory meeting where we went over some of the more recent updates to the ag program from the SADC. Got a couple projects in the hopper. Hopefully we'll be reporting back on that in the near future. Somerset Hills Public Safety, we'll address this a little bit later on, but we canceled last week's meeting. And farmers market, we have a farmers market meeting tomorrow, which farmers market, once again, we are opening this month. So Get rid of your Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Wipe those slates clean, Renee and Colin and whoever else is going to be out there. So yeah, it's a long season. How many weekends is that?
28 weeks.
28 weekends. Just in case you're counting. We've had some discussions with the county and the state regarding reimbursement for security expenses associated with President Trump. Most recently, we had a meeting last week with representatives from the state police, representatives from the county prosecutor's office. And it looks like there may be some opportunity for release of limited funds on a going forward basis from the State Office of Homeland Security. Certainly I've been in touch along with Robin, with Congressman Kane and his staff, which are working on legislation that would get both the state, the county, and Bedminster reimbursed for expenses going back to July 2024, which would include those expenses associated when President Trump was not president, but candidate Trump. And there's a big distinction as far as Homeland Security reimbursement goes. So we continue to press those efforts, and hopefully at the next meeting, we have something very positive to report. Ms. Ray. Please have the open public meetings on the open. May we please have the administrator's report?
Yes, Mayor. So I left my report on the printer, so I'll just try to go back and review this. So first of all, we introduced the budget on April 7th. Bedminster Township is state reviewed this year. We did have some questions posed to us by the DCA for review. I worked with Andrew. We got those responses back, and I'm happy to report that last week our budget was approved for adoption for this evening, which is on for consideration later in the meeting. So that's a good thing. Second, I did attend a couple meetings with regard to POTUS funding. As the mayor just said, the state is issuing a stopgap grant to fund some of the overtime for the police department at this particular time. So I worked on that funding application. Our partners at the county and state have also done the same, and we continue to meet with our with the state Homeland Office of Homeland Security to help us, as well as Congressman King's office. Ag committee meeting, Mayor already covered that. We met last week with our partners from Far Hills and PPAC Gladstone as we further develop and fine tune our shared service agreement for a shared street sweeper. So we're in compliance with the stormwater grants. There's a lot of things to work out. So that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. Chief Bernardo, anything on community policing?
Hey, good evening. No update this week, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. We have no ordinances to introduce. We have no public hearing of ordinances. We do have only 4 items on the consent agenda. These are items of a routine nature. Any member of the Township Committee may pull one, all of them, none of them, offer individual consideration. Seeing none, take a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda.
So move.
Second. Roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Hickey.
Aye.
Ms. Moreski.
Aye.
Ms. Fernandez.
Aye.
And Mayor Jacobs.
Aye.
Thank you.
We do have one resolution for individual consideration, which is the adoption of the 2025 municipal budget. Now, Robin, before we read this, do you and Andrew want to do a quick rundown?
Sure. He doesn't have to read it because it was already posted, so you don't have to read it. We're covered.
Did you
Thank
practice
you.
it?
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I just have a few really quick comments to make. So this year, thanks to the hard work of the Township Committee, Robin, Jason stepped in wonderfully and helped out really with, Debbie transitioning out this year. And later on, Jim did a good job as well, helping out with certain questions and things that came up, as well as James. So we came in below both the appropriation cap by about $2,200 and below the tax levy cap by about $98,000. As Robin had mentioned earlier, once every 3 years, we're required to go through a state review of the budget. So this was our year. We won't have it again until the 2028 year. The comments that came back were very minimal, mostly looking for clarification on certain revenue and expenditure items. And we were able to clear them up very quickly. Robin actually, what seemed like almost instantaneously, had responses, documentation, everything flowing back and forth in an email, which was wonderful. So we tidied up all of our responses back, got them back to the state, and they quickly approved us thereafter to adopt this evening. But yeah, I mean, I just want to, thank the Township Committee, thank Robin for all the hard work that you do. A very solid budget once again. And, I know a lot of thought goes into it. We're continuing to pay down our debt on our plan, as well as feed into our capital infrastructure and working towards that. So you're all set to adopt tonight, and we're ready to put the 2025 budget into the books and move along with it.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. And Andrew, thank you for your support and your participation as well, especially on the afternoon before we actually introduced, when you received some phone calls and a quick Zoom session with me, Committeeman Hickey and Robin, and we went through adjusting and readjusting the surplus, and where we ended up is a 1.95% increase with respect to the individual taxpayers.
Correct.
So 1.95 brought us under the 2% cap. A lot of effort to get there. As everyone knows, our directors, Jason and James was there from finance. Robin was there for some of the meetings, I believe, right? You were there? I think I remember you at the meetings. But just what a tremendous effort by everyone. Hard year. Fire trucks are not inexpensive. In fact, they're very expensive. And we maintain 2 fire departments in town, Pottersville and Far Hills, Bedminster. And, they do a tremendous job, and their equipment is at the stage where it is rolling over. And that is just a fundamental expectation. Equipment ages and it reaches an end of life and it needs to be replaced. We've looked at this in the past. We've set monies aside. We've worked with our fellow municipalities and partners in these departments with the Borough of Far Hills and Tewksbury Township for the Pottersville Fire Department. And this budget sets money up for the purchase of the tanker for Far Hills Bedminster, and sets us up well for the other equipment that will be coming down the pike in the next 3-4 years. And we think we can do so at the same time reducing our debt and managing our expenditures for the other expenditures that are expected of the township by our residents. So once again, I want to thank everyone for their efforts in all this, and certainly to all the efforts of those on Township Committee. And once again, tremendous job, Robin. Thank you very much. Before we introduce comments from Township Committee.
Just want to thank the fire department volunteers for working with us over the years to making sure the equipment does in fact go longer than their useful lives. I mean, you're not joking when you say the equipment is past its time. So it is time to bite the bullet, as we say, but they are, and I'm sure they'll continue to be great partners with us. So thank you to our true heroes, the firefighters out there, the first responders, and of course our police, the first role of government. keep everybody safe. So this is what we've got to do.
Just a thank you again to Andrew and Robin. You guys worked tremendously hard in support of the questions, the data requests, everything we need to make the informed decisions. We know Robin, he was only kidding. You're amazing. You gave that look for a second though. But you're amazing, seriously, in all you do and all you have and managing the process, which is not an easy process. So thank you again, both of you.
I concur.
Me as well.
All right. So no further comments. Take a motion to approve Resolution 2025-083, the adoption of the 2025 Bedminster municipal budget.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Hickey.
Aye.
Moreski.
Aye.
Ms. Fernandez.
Aye.
Mayor Jacobs.
Aye. Thank you again for everyone who worked with us and for all those who came out and watched the sausage being made at those meetings.
That's not Miller time yet.
It's
It's just bubbly.
Could have been champagne for that. Take a motion to approve the bill list pending review of individual invoices.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Hickey.
Aye.
Ms. Moreski.
Aye.
Ms. Fernandez.
Aye.
And Mayor Jacobs.
Aye.
Thank you.
New business. Any member of the Township Committee want to put anything up for consideration under new business? All right,
Not this week.
seeing none, old business. Colin, utilities.
Thank you, Mayor. An update on JCP&L. So JCP&L, as you may be aware, had previously submitted to the state a $935 million plan called Energize New Jersey, which proposed upgrading the electrical infrastructure throughout the state. Last Wednesday, the BPU approved a scaled-down version of that plan, which will now include $202.5 million in network upgrades over a 3.5-year period starting July 1st. Once that work is completed, the average residential bill will go up about 86 cents per month. Just a reminder, this is separate from the anticipated increase in generation charges, which is done on a pass-through basis, and those are anticipated to increase the average JCP&L bill by 20.2% starting on June 1st. What is not impacted by the scaled-down Energy New Jersey plan are the investments being made right here in New Jersey as a result of the pressure we've brought to bear on JCP&L. Over the past week, you may have noticed on routes 202, 206 utility crews out there. That's JCP&L installing new reclosers. Remember, these are essentially smart circuit breakers that can detect a line fault from a downed tree limb or animal contact and restore service automatically once that fault has been cleared. Those are going in right now. If your lights go off for a few seconds and then come back on, usually it means it's a recloser in action, which avoids a more extended outage or a truck roll. In addition, crews have been working on installing a loop scheme in the hills, interconnecting the switch located at the south side of the hills near Washington Valley Road with the switch located at the north side of the hills, adjacent to the 287 entrance and Schley Mountain Road. And you may say, why do I care? Well, let's say the electrical feed coming into the hills from the south side is interrupted, perhaps due to down wires on Washington Valley Road. The feed will be automatically switched from the south side of the hills to the north, so that power is now being fed from the circuit coming in from the opposite direction. As a customer, you may not even realize this automatic switchover, which will occur in real time and should reduce outages significantly. And the best part, all these improvements are happening now. They will go live by the end of this month. So there's a lot going on, more to follow, but I just want to give that update.
So Colin, when we had those discussions with JCP&L about the $900 million package.
Yes.
What we had heard back was that if that went through, Bedminster would be top of the list. The efforts that you just described, are those part of the 225, or is this being done separate and apart from the $225 million?
My understanding is separate and apart. These were priority projects to get us, to improve service immediately. I know there was also in that package for the larger package, substation improvements. I understand those are still going on, but we don't have the details. JCP&L has agreed to come in here probably in June and give us a further update. So at that point, we can find out exactly where they plan to make additional investments.
And so the reclosers that you had mentioned, those are currently not in place.
They're being installed,
So they're being installed now. So
so they'll be
so
activated.
when there had been an outage, say, where the, you mentioned Schley and coming up the south side, Birchwood. So
Mhm,
if Birchwood went down,
mhm.
it was not being fed in from the south. That was it.
That was it.
It was out.
The circuit
until
went
that
down,
line
you were dead in the water.
So now with these reclosers.
So
and the
that's the loop, that's, yes, yes,
So now with the loop system,
yes. In theory, the customer
there's
should
be a
never see it.
flicker and then it
Power comes right back
power
on.
comes right back.
Exactly. And that's why you've seen a lot of trenching along Robertson and Hills Drive, because they were trying to connect those two switches, which they've accomplished.
Okay.
So, work in progress.
Altice.
I have no updates on Altice, Mayor.
Okay. And Jason, anything with New Jersey American Water or PSE&G? Okay. All right. John, I'm going to assume that there's no updates on discussions with Pluckman Park Senior.
Your assumption is accurate, Mayor.
Okay, and I've talked before that the Somerset Hills Public Safety Committee meeting our next meeting will be in June. Robin, we need to get a date. We're going to put that off till after the mayor's conference down in Atlantic City. But what we do have teed up for the next Somerset Hills Public Safety Committee is a discussion on fraudulent deeds and deed conveyances. The county has put together a program. Chief Bernardo has talked about it, but it's certainly something that I want to coordinate further with our surrounding municipalities. So we're going to talk about that and then hopefully have something to report back either through the police department or through the township committee. We do have an executive session tonight, so we're going to go through township committee comments. We are not expected to take any action following the executive session. So we're going to go through township committee comments and then we will adjourn for executive session. Once again, you're all welcome to stick around and we come back out, but we will not be taking formal action. Ms. Fernandez.
Thank you. I have no comments. Well, happy Cinco de Mayo, I guess.
Ah,
That's my comment.
Ms. Mareski.
As I said last week, last meeting, I just hope we come to some good conclusions when we talk about the Jacobus Vanderveer house, because I really think that it would be a big blow to Bedminster if we lose it.
Committeeman Hickey.
I have no further comments, Mayor. Thank you.
Committeeman Stevenson.
No comments, Mayor.
And no comments from me at 7:33. I'll take a motion to adjourn to executive session.
So moved.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank.
Stop the recording.